And in just a few moments, we'll have live monster truck action from Peoria, Illinois.
We get along pretty good. We're good friends. We're both farm boys. So, but when it comes to racing, we're very competitive, and we don't show any mercy with each other. But he's got a good team behind him. He's got the best that money can buy.
Welcome back to the Peoria Civic Center here in Peoria, Illinois. There you get a good look at the Virginia Giant sitting on the other side of the cars. So we get set to go racing here with the Monster Truck Challenge as we work our way towards what we call the King of the Hill. Now here's how we score the King of the Hill. 60 points for first, and then it progressively goes back down from that all the way down to fourth, since we have 4 trucks with us here tonight. But they'll score points in 2 different events tonight, Mike.
They're going to score points in the obstacle course. We'll take those points from the obstacle course, and then after the drag racing has completed, we'll take the points from the drag racing, and it is the same setup that you see here. Add those together and be King of the Hill. Now, theoretically, a man could have some problems in the obstacle course. Win the drag racing, be King of the Hill. You don't have to win both of them, but it sure would help.
And this is important because it sets you up for a bye when we get to the final event of the year, which is at Indianapolis, the big event, the Super Bowl for these guys. The only guy who is qualified for the bye so far is Dragon Slayer from last week in Des Moines.
And he's not here tonight, but we've got a lot of good trucks. Take a look at the course route. This is a little bit different. You leave together. Each one of them is going opposite directions. They go over the first set of cars in a chase situation. Then you go around a big pole on the end of it. The other set of cars, you'll actually leave on this set of cars. For instance, Samson will leave on this set of cars, and when he finishes, it will be on the same set of cars. He'll go around the arena, and that's why they call it the obstacle course. We got a lot of obstacles tonight.
Absolutely. This will be the first form of competition. It is not anything but single elimination. You either win and move on, or you lose and you go to the loser's bracket. We will have a consolation race in the loser's bracket in this division, of course, because we'll have to see who gets third.
Third and fourth, and those points will be very important. You know, third place is super good. There's Theo Wilson out of Winchester, Virginia. Runs a body shop in Winchester, Virginia. This guy started out in truck pulling. Had the Virginia Giant in truck pulling. Later on converted over, went to monster trucks, and has been very successful. The motor in this truck is built by one of the most famous AA gas people in America, Ohio George Montgomery. I mean, he's just a legend in drag racing.
Absolutely, and of course the other truck building up to legendary status, the first of the 3D trucks, Samson.
I like Dan Patrick's truck. It handles extremely well. Big bad blown Hemi in the back of it. Dan has got a lot of technology in the truck, and he really tweaks the truck well. Changed the fuel pump on it, put a fresh fuel pump on it from last week. He was disappointed he didn't win last week. He told me later on that he ran the truck after the fuel pump changed. This truck hooked. He said, Mike, 2 passes, I was on the concrete with this truck leaving the starting line. So he's building just buku of horsepower, a lot of horsepower tonight in Samson.
Well, I think the thing that is interesting is the fact that Ohio George Montgomery is as well known to motors, and of course Dan Patrick is that well known when it comes to chassis for these monster trucks. You know, if you like what you're seeing here on TNN tonight, you've got to see the USA Motorsports show in person. Now, 2 weeks from now, those of you in Portland, Oregon and Denver, Colorado will get a chance to do just that. January 31st through February 2nd, the Monster Truck Challenge will be at the Portland Rose Garden and the Denver Coliseum. Make sure you come on out and catch USA Motorsports live and in person. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Well, we are just moments away from getting underway with our first race of the night. Who do you like in this one?
Oh, don't put me on the bubble like that, but no doubt about it, I think I'm going to have to go to the Samson truck. Ran this course last week, changed the motor just a little bit, did a couple of burnouts a while ago, just checking the track and kind of getting the cars prepped, and it showed a lot of horsepower right off the line.
The other thing about this, if you're watching monster truck racing for the first time, this is a pretty busy cockpit as you get a look at it right there. The drivers not only steer from the front, but from the back.
And this is a two-handed situation. Most of the drivers steer with the right hand, and then over on the left side of the truck, and this is just some of the drivers, left side, whichever makes them comfortable, there's a toggle switch. Lean it forward, the tires will turn to the back, right in the back. Lean it the other way, they'll turn to the left. It is a situation where you're steering the front and the back of it. And if you don't do that, you're not going to be able to get around these curves that we've got here tonight, the very tight courses that we have. That's Dale Wilson with his big Ohio George Montgomery Ford motor. Dale is, as we mentioned, in the paint and body business. That's why you're going to see a truck as pretty as this. It is beautiful. Well, that is the sound that we've been waiting on, Ralph. It's horsepower time.
Those big alcohol motors starting to come to life as we get set to go with the first round of obstacle course racing. We've got 2 Fords and 2 Chevys. The Virginia Giant, of course, one of the big Ford F-250s, a 1995 edition. Dale Wilson's machine. And then Dan Patrick out there with the big Samson Chevy.
Well, the Patrick is ready to go.
Now, they both came out and packed down a little bit in the first car. Both rolled up a couple of times to get the launching pad set to go.
Well, you said it right, Ralph. The launching pad it is. They'll be airborne off the first car. They will clear all 5 cars, and then they need to land with the tires down. Dale Wilson leads just a little bit. Samson out in front. Samson's got about half the truck on him. Dale's having some problem. The truck just not running the way it should. Picking up the left front tire.
He's got all kinds of problems for Dale Wilson and the big Virginia Giant, and it looks like Samson is going to easily move on now to round number 2 and a shot at the win here in the obstacle course of those very important 60 points.
Dan Patrick would love to win this. It would take part of the pressure of it. Here's Samson. He turns, great turns, a little bit of horsepower, a lot of air. I think at that time he sees that Dale's in trouble. Dale is down at the other end of the track. I think Dan sees he's in trouble. He backs out, just lands real easy.
So the big biceps will move on to the final round of the obstacle course. And who will he match up against? Now, Samson came real close to becoming king of the hill last week in Des Moines. He's got a real good shot to get a stranglehold on the position right now. But the equalizer has already put away Bigfoot. That's got to worry old Dan Patrick a little bit.
I think Patrick tuning this motor, changing the fuel pump last weekend, putting a fresh pump on it, putting a little more pressure in it. This is in car with Dale Wilson, unstrapping.
Watching from inside the Virginia Giant.
That's a safe place to be.
Yeah, not bad.
Who do you like, Ralph?
You know that equalizer truck could be on a roll tonight. He got a good start.
Boy, he's driving this course beautiful. Look at the power. Look at this. He is so on go for this course.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if they'd gone one more time around, he'd have lapped him.
The truck ran extremely well. I have to give the truck that. But you've got to give David Morris credit for driving this track the way he did. Off the cars, tires cut to the left. On the cars, off the cars, tires cut to the left again. He is absolutely smoking tonight.
Watch this. Here's Samson.
A lot of power. Dan doesn't do anything wrong, except he doesn't pop the rear tires coming off the cars. He waits till the truck lands.
Look at that.
Is he on a roll, Ralph?
He was half a lap ahead of him, Mike.
Ralph,
no doubt about it.
You know this business. You called that one before the race ever started.
Oh, my. Well, the equalizer. Now, this is what I find really interesting. Last week, Dragon Slayer comes out of the mix. Claims King of the Hill has the bye at Indy. What if Equalizer comes into Peoria, puts away Samson, puts away Bigfoot? He'll have a bye. The biggest trucks in the business right now are...
The only thing I've seen that looks like it might be warm is down in Texas, Beaumont, when we go down there.
Yep, we'll be going to Beaumont, Texas. We'll be bringing you that on TNN. We're going to have the Monster Truck Challenge from Memphis later this year as well. We'll be going to Kansas City, and we'll be wrapping it all up with a big Super Bowl of our competition from Indianapolis. This should be a great season of Monster Truck Racing live on TNN's Motor Madness. Now, we're shifting gears, if you will say, and making our way into the drag racing portion of the Monster Truck Challenge. A whole nother series of points up for grabs here. 60 points to the winner of this one as well.
Ooh, and the man with the 60 points in his hand right now is the truck out of Tennessee. Here's two guys that have just absolutely, these are must-win. They advance every time. You've got to go a little bit more, a little further. showed that graphic with Deal being an NTPA, a National Tractor Puller. He was a Grand National truck puller with the Virginia Giant.
And Dan Patrick in the far lane, and it's the Virginia Giant in the near lane.
And he was also a tractor puller. So we got a couple of ex-tractor pullers moved over to monster truck racer. Oh, good shot. This is going to really show what goes on.
This is all down to getting that truck to squat down on the track and get a good drive out of the dirt.
Absolutely leave hard. That's what you got.
Well, the Giant took off pretty good.
He left hard.
Boy, did he ever.
That was a very close race right at the finish also.
The Giant gets credited with the win. So he'll move on to the finals. Now he's staring at a minimum of 50 points, so he's in great shape. Let's take a look at the replay here. Look how good the Virginia Giant leaves. Look at that.
That truck transfers weight. It's a close race, but Deal really, just noses the Samson truck out a couple of inches.
The problem Samson had, Mike, was at the end there, he was still climbing while the nose of the Giant was crossing the line.
Also, the dirt over on the side where Samson left from looks like it tore up much more than it did on this our side of the track.
Absolutely.
It could be loose on that side, and that's Middle America. He may have flown that Bronco further than Evel Knievel did at Snake River.
No doubt about that. Well, the only thing that's going to fly farther tonight, these guys. Samson and Equalizer, the first of our drag races in our monster trucks. This is the consolation race.
Being the consolation race, it is so important for the Equalizer to win this race.
Get those 40 points for finishing third. I think he can do it too. He's got the better lane, and he's always got a good leaving truck.
It's just as important for Samson. He's sitting in second place after the first round with 50 points. One of these guys needs the points. Both of them need them bad. All four of these trucks are just so close that this drag racing is going to make all the difference in the world.
Well, Samson's got to be frustrated he didn't get the bye in the King of the Hill Award last week, losing that to Dragon Slayer, and he might not get it here.
It will be good. They're leaving with the light. Motors are way up. These guys really are intent. I think Samson's in a bad lane, though. That lane tore up earlier real bad when he left with it.
Oh, I think Samson got him. Samson got him, Mike. That is not what the Equalizer wanted to see.
Well, that's going to put the Equalizer with 90 points.
Here's a look at it.
Patrick picks the front end up. Boy, he leaves well. He's probably a foot and a half in front of the Equalizer. But now, Ralph.
Well, that takes some of the heat off of Bigfoot here.
But Equalizer and Samson both have 90 points.
Well, the key to this deal now is all in Bigfoot. Equalizer was probably going to get the advantage.